This video will walk you through the basics of creating and editing Blockwell palettes. This is the palette landing page, which you can get to using the palettes menu at the top of the site. On the left, it lists palettes you've created or copied, and on the right there are public sample palettes. We will start by clicking the Create Palette button to open a blank new palette. A blank palette will just show an empty page without any content. With any palette, you can open the editor view by clicking Edit Palette in the top left corner. A palette is made up of pieces called blocks, and so to add content to our new palette, we'll need to add a block to it. The rightmost tab in the editor is for adding blocks, and it will list all the different kinds of blocks you can add to your palette. We'll start by adding a template block, which we can do by dragging it from the list to a valid spot in the palette. Since the palette is currently empty, there is only one place to add it to, and the green indicator will show where it will be added as you're dragging. Dropping the template block will add it to the palette and then automatically select it. The currently selected block is indicated by the blue outline with a few controls on top of it. On the left, there is the type of the block, in this case template, as well as a button that lets you quickly select this block's parent. On the right, clicking the trash icon will delete the selected block. Clicking the copy icon will duplicate the block, and the 6 dots lets you grab the block and move it elsewhere in the palette. Template blocks let you add text content into the palette using a simple format called Markdown. You can open the template editor by double-clicking inside the template block. We'll add some text to this template, and you can see how the text is shown in the actual palette in real time. Just adding text is useful, but the real power of palette comes from its ability to integrate with the blockchain. One of the fundamental pieces of that is called variables. Variables are how data is added to palettes. All blocks can hold variables, and the variables are then made available to the block they are in and all its children. We'll select the main layout for the palette, and clicking the Variables tab will open up the Variables editor for the selected block. Next, we'll click Add Variable, which will create a variable in the layout block we have selected. There are 3 elements to all variables. The variable name is how the variable can be used in the palette. The type determines how the variable is configured and how it loads data. Below that, every type has its own configuration. The default variable type is called literal, which just means that it's a literal value that doesn't change. Right now we'll look at a different type though, so we'll change literal to contract. This type of variable loads a smart contract into the palette. We could manually enter the address and chain for the contract, but there's also a Find Contract button to search for a contract by name. We'll enter GOFC to find Girly Food Coin. Selecting it will fill in the values. Lastly, we'll give the variable the name token. Note that there is a purple box at the top of the variable with the label current value. This gives you a preview of the current value of the variable. In the case of smart contracts, it shows you the name of the contract, and we see it has loaded Girly Food Coin as we intended. Now that we've created a variable, let's see how it can be used in our template. Open the template editor again by double-clicking. In templates, variables are used by surrounding the name of the variable with 2 curly braces. When you type 2 curly braces in the editor, a pop-up will open that lists all the available variables. In addition to the token variable itself, you can see several other variables that were added as part of the token. There's token.address for the address of the contract, token.name for its name, and so on. We'll edit the template to use the token and token.parameters.symbol variables to show the name and symbol of the token in the template. Okay, we're now loading some token information, but an essential part of any dApp is to allow users to use their wallets with the dApp. Palette has a special block called Wallet for connecting the user's wallet to the palette. We'll open the Blocks tab again, find the Wallet block, and drag and drop it below the template. Note that the green indicator is a little different when adding a new block before or after an existing block. It shows a green line for where it will go. After dropping, the wallet block is now selected. It currently allows for using Blockwell Wallet or MetaMask. In this video, we'll use Blockwell Wallet for simplicity, and the connected wallet will be added to the palette as a variable. Now that we have a token contract and a wallet loaded, let's make some actual calls to the blockchain. We'll select the main layout again and go to the Variables tab where our existing token variable is. Click Add Variable again to create a second variable. We'll name this one Balance and load the token balance for the user's wallet into it using the variable type Balance. This type of variable needs a smart contract configured, which it already figured out automatically. It also needs a wallet to load the balance for. To use our connected wallet, we'll select Variable and then search for the wallet. When clicking the field, it shows the complete list of variables, but if you start typing W, it will search the list. Then just click the wallet variable in the list to fill it in. Notice that with the configuration done, the current value purple box at the top has updated to show the balance result. To finish off this guide, we'll add the balance variable into our template. Select and double-click the template again to open the editor. When typing in two curly braces, the list now includes the balance, and we'll add the symbol of the token after it. That's it for this Palette Basics guide. Thank you for watching.